but it can't open a bottle.
What did you say? Let's go back to January 24th when I contacted Giaco and showed him this idea. Razor blade bottle opener. Business in the front, party in the back. Woo-wee! And after 5 months of procrastinating, this is what I came up with. Now that you've seen the goods, let's take a look at how I designed it. I searched for a bottle opener design to get a reference. It's silly for me to reinvent the wheel when there are designs that already work. To pull this off, I copied the image into Paint, then import that image into Matthias Wandel's program BigPrint. This software can recalculate the image to the exact dimensions you put in. So by taking the manufacturer's dimensions for the product, I now have a template for my razor blade. Once done, it's now time to print it and head to the shop. Carbon steel is the most common steel used in these type of razor blades. They rust easily, but they're cheap and durable. You'll likely find they're tempered, meaning they've been heat treated and they won't want to drill or cut very easily. To remove the temper, I reheat the razor blade and wait for it to cool down. With the temper removed, a quick outline on the blade and a drill bit makes a perfect circle that removes most of the material. A quick touch up on my lines and it's off to the cutting wheel. Next, I knock down any sharp edges with a file. To retemper and quench my blade, I use an old quart of motor oil. Sadly, there wasn't any large flare-ups when it hit the oil. I'm not going to lie, I was kind of hoping for a larger finale. Next, I threw the blade in some vinegar, and then after a couple hours, off to sanding. I started with a 220, and after that I switched over to a micro mesh pin sanding kit I purchased off Amazon. They're about 12 to 13 bucks, and they really do a decent job of turning this blade back into bling bling. The blade cleaned up nice and fits like a glove back in the knife. I've since learned of others that have been down this road unbeknownst to me. MB Arts on YouTube TIG welded a can opener to his razor blade, and Tanda Madison reached out to me and mentioned she made a razor blade out of ₘ95 steel with a bottle opener design on the end. So why did they not just use a razor blade like me? Well, after multiple uses, the blade fatigues and turns into a sloppy Joe. But for those taking notes, the twist cap bottle is much harder to open. While I may be a tad late to the bottle opener party, let's take a look at some of the other inventions I've been secretly working on for the Maker knife. This is a prototype that I came up with in my head as a secondary backup lock for the Maker knife. Now then, just a reminder, this Maker knife works really well. Push all the way forward and it locks, pull it all the way back and it locks. Again, it doesn't come open. It's not a faulty knife. But if I ever got a little sloppy and didn't close it all the way, sometimes it might accidentally come open. So I came up with this idea. You'd put this on the back and the screws, you'd push the button, it would open up, and then to close it, you push the button, and it'll go back in this lock state. Again, if it ever wanted to try to come open, if you didn't get it fully closed, it couldn't because the button would be in the way. Again, something that's really not necessary, but it was in my head, and now that we've seen it, I'll put it away and make something new and another fun invention. These are my 4 Maker knife cases I've developed on my 3D printer. And the first one here is a square design. You can see Giaco Whatever's logo in there. This is the first time I tried working in my name. Got a little thin here. Again, very first design. Did have a little click at the end so it locks, doesn't want to fall out. The next one I designed was this idea. I wanted to make it look more like the Maker knife. So I designed it like this. And on the back I used a Velcro. I just did an adhesive one that I stuck on the back. The other end of this, the loops I stick on my pants. You see that in the video. This is my Maker knife sheath, and you'll notice that it's not on my belt like typical sheaths. I came up with a new idea, that is to put it in between these two pockets. I can easily get my keys out, or I can get my wallet out without accidentally bumping it. The great thing is I can go to it one hand, open it up, close it, put it back in its case, no problem. The way that works is it's actually got Velcro on the back of it. I sewed this piece into my pair of jeans. The great thing is I can throw these into the washing machine. Not a problem, I won't be making any noise. I can put this Velcro on other pairs of pants as well. Then I just take this case and I'll stick it on to any pair of pants that I'm wearing that day, and I'll always have it at the ready. This one does a really nice job of keeping the pockets free so it's not up there on your belt loop. I like that design, never seen anything like that before. The next one here, I came up with the idea of carrying a spare razor blade. You've got a little area here. Again with the belt loop, the name's just a little bit better. And this one, got a little bit of a positive click there at the end so it doesn't want to fall out. And overall, that's a really nice one. The razor blade's a little bit hard to get out. Need to work on it a little more, but I think it's a good design. This is the one that I typically carry. You'll notice that the logo is much more raised. The name on the back looks a lot better, and it didn't get too thin down there at the bottom. Listen for the click at the end. That one's got the most click out of all of them. Seems to lock in there nicely. Never had a problem with losing or anything like that. Again, these are my 4 Maker knife cases that I've designed on my printer. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, I advise tickling the subscribe button. Your support with my wife's money allows me to do bigger and crazier things on this channel.